Vlogmas Day 7.
Last night when I was trying to film my daughter opening the Vlogmas Challenge book, I tried to turn on this ring light and it didn't work. So I unplugged it because it was on the fritz. So let's see what a night off does. It's working. Maybe that's what a night off does for everything.
We were there.
He could have called 10,000 angels to come to his rescue. All love held a man on the cross. They will have all the money we need to fix Sister Brown's house. And so they got singers, and they got musicians, and they got a concert hall. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby...
The next month is just sugar, steady diet of sugar, and we are here for it.
Sugar and candy.
And no vegetables or
No vegetables or fruits. Okay.
just sugar.
Just sugar. So I finished The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and I found it to be really thought-provoking. I love the philosophy that Oscar Wilde presents in this book. The story is about a painting that almost takes on a life of its own. So we're reading about an artist called Basil, and he becomes almost obsessed with this young man named Dorian Gray. And so he makes a painting of Dorian Gray, which is why it's called The Picture of Dorian Gray. And based on a conversation that happens between the painter, the muse, and a friend, these are all members of English society, and they have this discussion about beauty and the sacrifice that beauty requires of us. And so there is a pivotal moment where a decision is made, and the story becomes the result of that decision, how it weighs on someone's life. Something that the book shows very acutely is how someone can get taken in by appearances and not realize like what you exchange in order for something to look good. Sometimes it's like, what's the ugly side of beauty? or what absorbs ugliness when what we see is beautiful? So there are a lot of really terrible acts that are described in this book, but what I like is how the author shows why these acts are committed and what is the beauty that could be the result. So it's a really interesting discourse on appearances, and I guess false appearances, which, man, I think is just so significant to read in, you know, in this era that we're in influencer culture, and where people make things look beautiful to present this idea on social media or just in general to the world. So I thought it was a really profound read, and I think this is why books become classics or modern classics, because even though the story was first told in 1890, it is as relevant today. That is a topic that is as relevant today as it ever was. So it's interesting to see how the characters live and move in a different time and are still plagued with some of the same issues that we have today. So I love that. So I really enjoyed this book, and I would love to chat with you about it. If you've read it, or if something I said in this video makes you want to pick it up, would love to hear from you about that. I know I started it before and didn't finish, and I know exactly why I put it down, because the philosophy had gotten to be so just immersive that I probably wasn't able to process and really focus on it at the time. So I'm glad that I returned to it. And one of the things that I do that I love that I do is that when I purchase a book in a store, in a brick and mortar store, I usually keep some kind of a memento to remind myself of where I bought the book. So this book came from Greenlight Bookstore in Brooklyn, and I also have the receipt, which is how I remember that that's not just a random bookmark. The receipt was in the book. The receipt was in the book, showing me the day when I purchased the book, and it was a night when I went out with my husband, and we stopped at the bookstore, as one does, and I bought this book, or he might have bought it for me, I don't remember. But it is a perfect memento because we are heading into our wedding anniversary. So love that I finished this book. It has a really, really interesting ending. I would love to talk with you if you have read this book. So don't message me here. Don't spoil it for anyone else. But would love to know if you've read this book, and let's chat about it. So we will end the vlog here because I have had a full day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with another video tomorrow, and I hope you join me for it. Until then, happy reading. Bye.